Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Supergirl. This time, we are on season 4, episode 17, titled All About Eve. So you will notice the difference in the jump from episode to episode. From the last episode to now, it's only been one episode jump, but I did come to the conclusion after realizing that all of these CW shows, I think save Legends maybe. I think I have to check the schedule again, but I think maybe Legends just isn't coming back at the same time. But most of the CW DC shows are coming back next week. They're all premiering next week, starting Sunday with both Batwoman and Supergirl. So not only do I have to adjust my schedule accordingly, but it also means I've got a lot of catch up to actually play with these shows. And after looking through it, I think yesterday until like last night, I figured, I could have done some quick catch up for all of the shows at an equal pace, but that's no longer possible because I ran into, I think it was earlier, like this week, I was on Tumblr just innocently scrolling through my feed, and then I ran into spoilers for episodes like 18 and 19 for like Arrow and Flash, like some character spoilers and whatnot, like reveals. So I mean, it's a miracle I've managed to go on any kind of social media until now without running into spoilers for anything. I think Twitter has the whole word blocking thing, so you can have that on there. I've had it for all the DC shows like forever. But I think Tumblr, like to my knowledge, they don't really have the same kind of mechanism that allows you to do that, and so you need to actually just be careful whenever you scroll. So yeah, that's that. But I think the spoilers I ran into were, I mean, it was caption stuff, but I think I saw for Flash, I saw the thing for Godspeed, like a screenshot of Godspeed within the Flash. So for one thing, that's incredible. That's awesome that they're actually adding him into the show now. So that's incredible. So that was a spoiler I ran into. And for Arrow, I think it was that character Black Death. Black Star, right? Yeah, the one from the Flash Forwards, the one played by Catherine McNamara. Her like it was a screenshot of her saying like I am Mia Smoke or my name is Mia Smoke or something. So she is a character pretty pivotal to both Felicity and presumably Oliver as well. I mean, her last name is Smoke, so we know she's a descendant of Felicity Smoke, and as far as we know, Felicity's not with anyone other than Oliver. So I think like seeing those things as soon as I was able to contextualize them, I tried to scroll down, but it was too late because once I contextualized them, then I start putting 2 and 2, or even in this case 4 and 4 together, and then I actually have some sense as to what it means. So because of that, it means that I can't really go forward like through the upcoming episodes without having that in mind, and then still have the same kind of authentic kind of reaction to those kinds of scenes. So with that stuff spoiled, I think for Arrow and Flash, I've decided in a way it's kind of fortuitous because it means I get through the seasons faster. But for Arrow and Flash, I've decided I will play catch up with those, and like since I haven't seen any spoilers for the finales, I will react to the finales and the penultimate episodes of those shows. But Supergirl and Supernatural, Supergirl, I'm gonna be doing kind of skipping reactions. So like the last episode, Red Daughter, I watched that. I think it was called Red Daughter. No, the House of El. I can't remember the name anymore. But the last one where they actually introduced us to Red Daughter, I watched that in my own time yesterday, and it was fantastic. So this one, All About Eve, I'm gonna react to it. But the next episode, not gonna react to it. The episode after that, I'm gonna react to it, and then so on and so forth. Until I get to the finale. Supernatural, going to be doing all of those episodes. Legends, again, got to check the full premiere dates and everything to see when and if it's actually coming back for its new season. And then depending on that, I'll either like play catch up with all of those episodes and react to all of them on the channel, or I'll just figure something out. But then it means I have to check my schedule, because then I'm hoping that by the time the shows actually come back for their premieres, I can actually get back onto that kind of consistency grind and actually get back to reacting to the shows on time, and actually getting this stuff out for you guys on time as well. So hopefully this year with all these seasons is the next best opportunity, because again, it's Arrow's final season, it's Supernatural's final season. I want to get this stuff out on time. And in general, I just want to be able to keep up with everything, and like, again, best way to avoid spoilers, just see it as soon as it comes out, which I unfortunately did not. So yeah. But the last episode, I believe it was called, I think it was probably called The House of El, I think. Yeah, I think it was called The House of El. But the last episode was a great episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think it's like, especially for the CW shows, it's not very often that I actually take or get the opportunity to watch an episode in my own time, because I always react to them. It's one of the shows I react to. So seeing it in my own time, it was definitely kind of more of like a luxurious thing, or like a leisure thing. I get the opportunity to rewind and go back and catch up on what I missed and stuff like that. But even then, it's just like, it like story-wise, it was a great episode. It gave us an introduction to the Russian version of Kara that we've been seeing. That I can't remember what the Russian name is for her. I can't remember, but it's something like Presnia. I can't tell. I don't know, but we got an introduction to her over a time lapse kind of period. So it showed us like X amount of months ago, and then another X amount of months ago, and then 4 months ago, and 2 months ago, and leading up to all of the stuff in present day. So we saw how Russian Kara was born at the Harunel release from the end of the last season, and then she walked up into the Kaznian military base. And then they realized upon discovery that she was an exact copy of Supergirl, and since then they contacted Lex Luthor in prison and told him about her, and then he bribed the warden into letting him leave the prison for 72 hours to actually let him go visit her. And then over the course of a good few months, we just saw as she was manipulated by him, because the only English name she could actually remember in her mind was Alex. And since she's a copy of Kara, instinctively you'd think, oh, she's talking about Alex Danvers, her sister, her American version sister. But then Lex comes along, and obviously his name is Alexander Luthor, so he became the Alex in her life, and then he slowly manipulated her, sending her reading material and just like, studying how she was and who she was, and just kind of, just slowly integrating his own identity into her life, and like becoming a kind of mentor figure to her and stuff like that. So that happened. But Russian Kara, she's a bean. She's a small bean. She is the cutest of murder weapons that the Soviet Union could ever actually produce. But yeah, she just really is innocent. She doesn't want to have to kill anyone. She's just being trained to kill and taught to kill, and she thinks, because this is all she knows, being stuck in a Kaznian kind of prison cell, or not really a prison cell, but like a containment cell of sorts. It's all she knows. She saved a boy from like a group of bad men, and then that's where she met Lex. And yeah, I think she thinks America are the enemy because Lex has convinced her so with the Ameritech company producing missiles and weapons and stuff like that. But yeah, over time she just kind of grew to imitate Lex and just take in all the information he was giving her. And then they eventually flew to America, and they broke into Kara's apartment, and then she impersonated Kara with the clothes and the hair and everything. She basically is a doppelganger. She basically is in like an international doppelganger. And then she met Alex as well, like Kara's version of Alex. And then she went through Kara's journal, where Kara herself has a lot of sentimental diary entries towards Lena Luthor. So just from that, there was that. What else was there? There was a bit of her at the hotel, I think. Well, her meeting her going straight to Catco to meet Lena in the elevator, and then she put on like her best kind of American accent, and then she ran into Eve, who warned Lex that maybe their little puppet was getting out of hand and out of control and getting some sense of free will. And then Lex ordered Otis to launch a missile strike on on the area in Casnia where that little boy was living, and then, you know, forged it with the Ameritech logo. So then that angered her, and then she murdered a whole warship full of them, and then Lex had to clean that up, and stuff's gone down. So much stuff has gone down, but Russian Kara is innocent. She's not a murder weapon. She's been, like, brainwashed to think so by the Kazanians and by Alex. She's not a killer. She has the abilities of Supergirl, but that doesn't mean she wants to kill anyone. She's just been made to think that she has to, or that that's what she's made for. So, you know, I'm hoping we see a happy ending for her. I'm hoping we actually see her maybe meeting Kara, meeting her copy, and actually, you know, getting a taste for the good life and everything. But I don't know. I mean, good things rarely happen to good characters. Very rarely they happen to good characters. So I don't know if we can keep her around or not, or what's going to happen, but I do hope we see more of her, and more of her being good and being shown the truth and the openness of the world, and actually being allowed to make her own decision from all of that, instead of all of this kind of Russian brainwashing that she's had to go through. And then we learned that Lex poisoned himself with red kryptonite, with the red sun thing, to give himself cancer, so that Lena would be forced to use the Harronel on him, because then Russian Kara was given some kind of poisoning of some sort. I think the black kryptonite, I think he mentioned, but something along to his list of diagnoses. Diagnose. I don't know. I'm trying to make up words as I go along. But yeah, but then by the end of it, by the present day, she had donned her own Red Daughter suit and everything. So she's officially the Red Daughter. And Supergirl discovered that Lex had been. Supergirl woke up from Lex knocking her out with the Daily Planet thing. So stuff is going down everywhere, and we have little time to try and fix it, but fix it we shall try. So episode 17, all about Eve, that traitor Eve. How could you, Eve? How could you? Let's see how could she. Let's see how she could.
I'm sorry. You have nothing.
None of this is your fault. None of this is your fault, Lena.
She will find him.
Jonn? Oh crap, he's falling. Did the psychic net not work?
Are you okay?
Oh, or was it too strong? Did he catch something too strong? Just knocked him right out of the sky. Oh, what? Oh.
James, are you okay?
Oh, he has PTSD, doesn't he?
I'm fine.
You were shot. You almost died on the operating table.
He has
This isn't a
PTSD.
broken leg. You need to pay attention to what's going on.
Kelly, I said I'm fine.
Like sudden
I'm a
movements and
psychologist that specializes in
collisions
trauma.
can remind him of what
This is
happened.
my job.
Everyone, stand down.
Oh, because she's not an employee of the DEO anymore, is she?
I come offering donuts and my help.
Huh.
Lex
Both are
hugely
very
taxed
much
was
well
in the first
accepted.
48 hours of escape.
Don't make me regret this.
She won't. Enjoy the donuts.
I've been doing, and given the fact that you two don't have the cleanest history, I think it's better if I talk to her.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Right.
But we don't get enough
If you-
Alex and Lena stuff, you
Press this
know?
once.
Give us that
Over
friendship.
there. If you press it.
His father's spirit's here.
We're closed.
That's his father, isn't it? That's his father.
Read the sign.
Let's have a little chat, shall we?
Wait, so he summons his dad's spirit and he walks in through the front door, really? He can't just teleport to sit right across from him? Isn't that how it usually is?
Take the sacred symbols. Martian history will disappear forever.
A shame. I'm taking them now.
No, wait.
This does not sound like his father.
You can't.
What?
Goodbye.
Wait, what? What the hell is happening?
So Eve is in love with Lex. Your brother gave you every opportunity to
I can kind of say I saw that coming.
come
Kind of
back
say I
to
saw
the
that coming.
fold, and you turned him down. The two of you working side by side.
Oh, that part.
I can smell your fear, Lena. Doing everything in your power
Lena,
to ensure your friends
they're your friends.
find out your complicity. They
They would
hate
never
you.
judge you on that. You know that.
Yourself.
So this is a team.
Yes,
Hmm.
Lena's
The
joined
big
us.
three together again.
Well, I realized
Thank you very much.
Senator Granberry.
Is it just me or does Alex look a lot like Black Widow?
This is your son.
Like the
George
suit,
Walker.
the
Just giving
hair.
him an intro on
the
how
badass,
things get
sorry.
done in Washington. No matter.
I know what will solve this problem.
What?
A nice hot cup of coffee. I'll stay for
Coffee.
one.
Oh jeez, yeah, he loved coffee and he loved hot cocoa as well. His two favorite beverages.
Oh, Mary's in. She's lying. Her heart's as fast as a hummingbird's.
yeah, I think so too.
So this is
what's in
Mary
your-
then.
Your hand.
This has to be Mary.
Oh. Ow! Ah! Your hand.
Okay, this is Mary and something is also very wrong with her.
You were sick. You were on hospice.
Haru
With
now.
the serum I made for James. She was
Ah.
here.
Go that way, exactly 900 meters.
I speak English better than you.
Whatever, it's not a contest. And put this on first.
She does. She actually kind of does. Like even with the accent, she is very
You
fluent.
really look exactly like her.
Yeah, that's kind of the point here, Eve. Catch up.
Lex tried to kill you 8 times.
If you would just listen to me
8?
for once in your life,
Jesus, that is
maybe
one
you'd
piece of
realize
persistent
this
son
has
of a
nothing
bitch.
to do with Lex.
Lena saved Argo with this. She rescued Sam. She cured Bitsy's cancer, and she saved James's life.
She's done a lot more good with this than you would think. You know? It can be used for bad, but Lena has actually used it for the best.
You're right. I'm sorry, Lena. Thank you.
See that? Getting past the differences. Yeah. Understand each other. That's what I'm talking about.
Bygones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a man of peace! And if that means I have to give up the symbols and Martian religion has to die, then so be it! At least I will know who I am!
God damn it. David Harewood is incredible.
And who are you?
I'm the Martian Manhunter!
Yes, you are. You are. He finally knows who he is. Jesus Christ. Who's this? It's another Metallo, that's for sure. Oh, crap. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, Jesus. There we go. Oh, crap, that incinerated him. Yep. Nice shot.
Any answers you found, they came from inside you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
I had a feeling this wasn't the actual spirit, but
But
more
I'm
like
still
a
really
reflection of
appreciative.
who
It
he was
good to see
inside
you
Jonn.
too,
Yeah.
Martian Manhunter.
Mm-hmm.
The Alien Amnesty Act was just repealed.
What?
Wait, what? No. She said no.
Eve, did you see that?
Oh, no.
She's in D.C.
Oh, crap. Oh, she's pushing this all forward. She's pushing this all forward.
Did you see your name, Mother? Written in red. In
Oh, that's
Lex's
that's an assassination spot.
No.
Yeah, that's an assassination spot.
Lex was coming for you. Unless you knew something. Something that could be used to find him.
Ah, so she does have
So who
information
you bet
then.
your life on?
Why did you change your vote?
Yeah, that's her
Take
then.
the
That's Eve. Yeah, Eve threatened her. Eve threatened her. Under Luthor's orders, likely.
The only car protected with an X-ray scatter field. Out of the car.
Oh, it's a hologram. Damn it. Wait, enjoy the show. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, that's Lex's suit. That's Lex's suit. Nope. Oh, it's Russian car, isn't it? Oh, it's Red Daughter. It's the Red Daughter, it has to be. Oh, and this is gonna set James off. That's gonna set James off really badly. Oh, shit. No, don't do this. Don't do this. Presnia. I feel really bad for not remembering your name.
So long as they fear.
No, Kara. No, Red Daughter, no. This is not who you are. So you've been made to be. Come on, Kara, fly up. Come on, fight her. Come on, fight her. Oh no, now she can't. No, she's just been framed. She's been framed for the whole thing.
My fellow Americans, you are now public enemy #1.
Oh shit. She's officially a fugitive, isn't she?
I know.
Does Haley believe it? Does she know? Does she believe it at least? Does no one think that this could possibly out of character for Supergirl? Like, why would she suddenly attack the White House?
Think you can stick around?
I'm not going anywhere.
We finally got to that point that it was all too much to bear. Wait, is Jonn leaving? Is he leaving? Oh, is he going to Mars? Oh, I think maybe Jonn's probably going to Mars.
We're on your side, Supergirl. We're gonna find out the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Together.
The big three back together. Yep. Yep. Big episode. Okay. But yeah, that ending confuses me because, like, surely, like, the guy the president described her as like a symbol of hope and peace and a hero to the nation. Like, so does that mean that just no one thinks that this is out of character for Supergirl? Like, why would she, someone who's been advocating for alien rights for so long, almost said gay rights for a second, but hey, she could be doing that too. But, like, why would someone like Supergirl suddenly turn hostile? Like, she's never had any issues with anger in the past. Well, very rarely has she had issues with anger. She's never approached the Alien Amnesty Act with anger or hostility. Like, she's always encouraged peace and peaceful protesting and, like, you know, fighting for your rights with peace. So why do people think she'd suddenly resort to laser beaming up the White House and attacking people all of a sudden like that? Like I feel like to any normal person or to anyone who could actually analyze the situation clearly, that would just seem like a really out of character moment. So maybe, you know, there was that time back in season 1, I think, where she was under where Kara herself was really angry because she was under the influence of synthetic kryptonite. There was that, and like that was still her, but it brought out her dark side, but it was still out of character for her. But yeah, at the end of the day, Alex and Lena know this wasn't her, that she would never do this. So for them, they never saw her. They never saw Kara being strapped into that to the suit that Lex sent after her and being held back and like being watched by it and being forced to watch the White House burn down. But they still know they both still know that this was out of character for her. So they are the ones who still know Kara and Supergirl well enough to know that, you know, she's still a hero and she's not the kind who would ever do this, and someone is trying to set her up. So that was really cool to see. But that big three element, Kara and Lena and Supergirl, Lena and Alex, like that's just a really, that was like a highlight of this episode for me, because, you know, I don't think it's very often we get to see them working together. I think ever since Supergirl and Lena kind of split their ways, and Lena was forced to kind of go her own way with this, we've very rarely seen them actually working together. We saw a bit of Alex and Lena back at the DEO, but other than that, we haven't really seen much of them working together, and they all worked together to save Sam back in the last season. Seeing those big three of the big three of this show getting together again and working and solving stuff and trying to track down Eve is just really cool. But yeah, I think Alex reminds me of Black Widow quite a bit. But you know, again, powerful female characters, so it's a plus. but what else? I want to say David friggin' Harewood. He is just one hell of an actor. He is one hell of an actor. Like, the performances he has put in for this character since day one, since the unveiling of Jonn Jones back in season 1, has been nothing but like amazing and grounded and in depth and personifying and all of the above. But this episode, this is, I think, where he solidified his stance and stood his ground as the Martian Manhunter, because, you know, this whole season has been about him having that whole identity crisis, like, you know, trying to fight peace trying to fight for peace the way his father did, because he thought that was the only way, and you know, because he made that promise to his father, and then at the end of the day, finding out that he couldn't keep it in exactly the same way he had promised, and maybe that made him a failure. But at the end of the day, you know, he realized, you know, maybe he's not a man of peace, or maybe he is, but maybe he's just not the exact same man of peace that his father was, and that's okay, as long as he knows who he is, and as long as he still knows what he fights for and who he fights for. That is literally all that matters. And now he knows he's not a man of peace. He is the Martian Manhunter. That was just an incredible moment. But yeah, so I think I had always had an inkling that, you know, like, from the beginning, like, his father seemed really out of character, like, just walking in through the front door. Just like walking in through the front door and being like, okay, yeah, so you failed in your mighty mission of peace, and I'm here to confirm that. I'm just going to take these symbols and then just pop out and, you know, just be done with it. Like, that just seemed really out of character for me. You know, it didn't seem like what his father would do or say. Like, his father was always the more philosophical one, the one who would actually, you know, tackle the whole morality issue and actually, you know, strive to like help people to be better people, and, like, you know, strive to be more of a peaceful person, and indulge that kind of invest that kind of wisdom into other people. So to see him being like this was just really weird. Yeah, like, for a while I figured, you know, maybe this isn't even his father himself. I can't remember his father's name. I'm gonna Google it very quickly. Jonn Jones' father, Jonn Jones' dad, is Mirren. Yeah, Mirren Jones. Yeah, Mirren Jones and Mirren. Yeah, it just seemed really out of character for him, because he's never been the kind of guy to take away. Like I think, you know, like, what you'd expect from him is what you'd expect from him is for him to do exactly like what Jonn summoned him to do, in the way that Jonn expected him to do. Jonn expected him to be there for council. I mean, the way he entered was just weird as fuck overall. Like, he coming in through the front door and knocking on it. I thought he was just gonna show up in his Martian garms and be sat straight across from him and talking to him like a therapy session, but instead he comes in wearing human clothes. He knocks on the door and it says all of this stuff, and then says, you know, like, after Jonn passes out, he's like, okay, I'm just waiting for you to pass out. Now I'm gonna go get a quick cup of coffee and then peace out. This little mental breakdown thing. But at the end of the session, I think what really actually struck a chord was the fact that was the message he passed on. Like, he had no trouble believing that Jonn could handle the mission of peace, but what he didn't want was for Jonn to think that he had to be exactly like his father. Like, you know, he wanted Jonn to be a man of peace, but like he said, in a way that still allowed Jonn to remain true to himself. Jonn has never been one who just lets people get away with the harm that they inflict. He's never been one to just try and convince them to, he does try and convince them to step down, but if need be, he does take action in an actual actiony way. He's never been one to just solely use words, as that's never been the peaceful route he's taken. So, you know, he always trusted that Jonn would be able to find the best possible path to use, or the lesser of two evils and stuff like that. He never expected that Jonn would actually take up his sword again in the most literal of ways. So with that, like he just wanted Jonn to know that, you know, so long as he stays true to himself and he knows who he is, he can always still be a man of peace, and also just find out which kind of method of peacekeeping works best for him. And for Jonn, that is being the Martian Manhunter, being a hero that takes action when needed, but also still strives to be peaceful, like first and foremost. But then if he does come up against an enemy that's just relentless, like Manchester, and, you know, taking them out of the game is all that will stop them from playing, then, you know, that's what needs to be done. So that ending was definitely very good to see. Jonn finally moving past this conflict, identifying himself as the Martian Manhunter, knowing what he is and who he now is, and, you know, just moving past all that stuff. I think it was a great development arc for him as well, like him actually actively finding out who he is and what he wants and how he wants to do things, and just how he wants to live life in general as well. So I think likelihood is he will still keep up his private investigating business, but now he will actually do it as the Martian Manhunter, as opposed to doing it as the Man of Peace and stuff like that. So yeah, that was still very, very cool, and to just to see him just breaking down over time was really cool to see as well. Like to see him, like, you know, acknowledging all of his fears, like his fear of losing the symbols, losing the staff, losing everything, losing everything about him, and losing everything about his home and his past and his family, all because he failed to do what he set out to do, and all because he thought he failed to do the right thing. That was a really cool kind of sequence of events to see, and it was a really nice kind of subplot to have paired into this episode. So yeah, that was pretty cool. But again, David Harewood, just top notch. But yeah, that was Martian Manhunter. Lena, I think, I mean, it was a kind of smaller thing, but I think this is still something that's going to stick with Lena for the coming episodes, and that was what Lillian pointed out, like her fear of people finding out what she's done. And I think for the sake of relevance, I think that would kind of point to what's happened in more recent times, like, because people know she's a Luthor, like pretty much most of her, like all of her adult life. That name has been hanging over her head like a cloud, and she's always tried, like since we've met her, she's always been trying to move away from that name and use it for a better purpose and use it for good. But, you know, in recent times, having worked with Lex voluntarily, you know, thinking it could save him and save James, like just having worked with Lex alone, she knows how bad that sounds and how suspicious that sounds, and then, you know, she tries to keep that from Kara and Alex and the team because she's afraid of how they might think of her or how they might feel about that kind of stuff. It's just it's hard to see it's hard to watch the effect it has on Lena, and like that is a very valid fear for her as well, because again, she's trying to be everything. Like she's trying to be everything that's the exact opposite of what her family as a whole is. We haven't heard much about his father. Lillian is the only parent in the Luthor family we've known about. I know in Smallville they had. I know in Smallville they had Lex's father, but I don't know if they had Lena or Lillian in it. But I know they had Lex and they had his father. I can't remember what his father's name is, but I know in Smallville they had his father on there. But in this one, it is just the mother who is paired with Lex in terms of ideology and mentality and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, but that is a very valid fear Lena had, and it's kind of connected to what comes next with Supergirl and Lena sorting out their differences. This is something else I loved to see, like Supergirl finding the rest of the Harrow in Lena's locker, or in Eve's locker even. There is something I need to go back and see though. Something Lena mentioned about that Harrow. Yeah. Something else. Nope. Okay, yeah, so this is something I kind of forgot about, mostly forgot about, but that she did give back all of the Harrow, the Harrow that she had, to Kara's mother, but she made more. That I pretty much entirely forgot. I was assuming that she did keep some of it, just so that she could do her experiments, but she did actually make more. So again, for more, like, you know, plus points, feels really weird and patronizing to be saying that, but, you know, for more, like, you know, like, for, you know, like, for another, like, you know, I don't know how to describe it. Plus point sounds really patronizing, but yeah, like for another thing, Lena is also smart enough to actually understand what Harunel is and what, like, how it works. So she was able to make some more. So, you know, go Lena. But she did use it to create more, and like the entire time we've seen her with Harunel, like from the beginning, her goal with Harunel. She even said it was to be able to cure everything, to cure cancer, to cure any and all illnesses, and to essentially make the human body stronger. And I think I think from the beginning maybe, but over time as well, she did realize that, you know, the side effects of the Harunel would be superpowers, and she was trying to prepare. With the hearts, she was trying to find a way to actually, you know, make it immune to all diseases, but also actually like find a way to have it stable in having the superpowers, and that was what she struggled with at the beginning. But that argument they had, I think what I really liked about it was, you know, Lena actually pointing out all the good that she'd done with it. So, you know, it's like, again, she's actually using her resources for actual good. She's actively trying to save people. She's using the Harunel. She's using what she has for good. She's saving people. She's creating cures and everything. So she is pretty much turning the tables. Like, anyone would look at a Luthor with those kinds of resources and with that material and think that they're trying to do something bad with it, that they're trying to burn down the world, or they're trying to kill people with it. But Lena, she actively seeks to make the world a better place, to help heal people, and to help people become better with it. And I think that like with Supergirl, it's fair on her part, because with Supergirl, I think the issue is that, you know, like from her experience, she's never had any good experience with people who use resources too strong for them to fully understand, or like resources too strong for them to control. Like they immediately fall out of control with it, or they use it for bad reasons and for bad purposes. So from her experience, it's very rare for a person to fall into the possession of something like this and then use it for good. So she, you know, it's not because it's Lena, but it's because of the people that she's had to face in the past. So it makes her a little trippy to have to deal with all that. But, you know, in that scene again, they actually worked out the differences. They came to their their own separate confessionals, and they actually, you know, understood each other from their viewpoints and everything. And most importantly, they set their differences aside for, like, once and for all. They actually put the differences aside. They understood where they were coming from, and you know, they understood where they were going. So that kind of stuff. You know, they let bygones be bygones, so they are working together now. So that kind of stuff I really love to see, and it's just really nice to see Lena and Supergirl actually working together for once as well. So that stuff is really cool. But yeah, again, Lena and Supergirl officially working together. That is really, really cool to see. So yeah, that was that. What else? James and his kind of refusal to accept help from Kelly. I think James has often like struck me as like a kind of stubborn guy. Like once he says yes or no to something, he's not gonna really say otherwise until he sees it through, or unless he sees a breaking point where like the opposite answer might be required. But in this case, it was his kind of stubbornness that he was okay and that he'd survived death threats and death attempts before, so he was fine with it. But with this was the closest he'd ever actually come. He'd actually been shot in a fatal place, a very, very fatal place, and had come close to death because of the power being shut off in the hospital. So this was as far as he'd come, like to actually losing his life. And knowing like what the cause of it was, like a gunshot to the back, like that kind of thing. Again, like Kelly said, it's a very easy trigger for him. And even sitting in his office, he just has his TV turned off because otherwise he sees the face of the man who orchestrated the whole thing and had, you know, like been controlling his assistant for months. So, you know, like seeing that kind of stuff, it's a very easy trigger for him. But he was insistent on being able to handle it himself, and that he was fine. That he didn't realize until it was too late, until he was surrounded by gunshots in a secluded area, like, you know, like that claustrophobia sets in, the triggers come up, and he just can't really control it anymore. So he was ready to accept in the end that he did need Lena's help. He did need Kelly's help, and Kelly was not truly willing to go anywhere if, you know, if she was still under the suspicion that her brother needed her help. Like, she was not willing to just leave him behind. But I think she was packing her bags just in case, and still kind of taking her time with it just in case. Just in case James did come around to it, and in the end he did. In the end he did come around to it and understand that, you know, this is something that he needed to resolve. This is something he needed help with. So I'm glad he did eventually come to that decision. So I will be looking forward to seeing how Kelly helps out James with his trauma now. I think she does still have that kind of referral list to all of the psychiatrists in National City and stuff like that. So hopefully James does get the help he needs, and hopefully he does work his way past his trauma. But that is a very a very, very kind of like grounded kind of thing, like him having like died in like an almost instantaneous way, and then him having spent hours just like fighting for his life, and then, you know, he comes back and, you know, he can't immediately adjust back to normal life because he remembers what happened. He remembers how it happened, and to make matters worse, he now knows who did it as well. Like the person he trusted for months, the person he worked alongside, and the person he, you know, like trusted with his work and with pretty much his friendship and everything, is the one who quite literally shot him in the back as soon as his back was turned. And, you know, like she did it on the orders of a man who has tried this very same thing before and has tried to harm James a lot before. So that information probably made it a lot worse as well. So yeah, and even in the thing in the DEO like thingy, like in the broadcast of that woman like saying that she actually voted yes on the repeal, like even then like Eve's face showed up for like a split second. So granted, he probably saw that probably didn't make matters easier either. So yeah, but damn, this was a big episode, a big episode. So we've got a lot to look forward to coming up. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have from this particular episode. So looking forward to seeing how Alex and Kara and Lena work towards clearing Supergirl's name, and how Kelly helps out James, and how everything else goes down in this show. But yeah, that was Supergirl Season 4, Episode 17, titled All About Eve. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next for Supergirl and Co. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you guys next time.